Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising but the sunrise glows. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Heat up, drop your sign. One at a time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo Kilo starts the day. Check here. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile base or handheld tight. Everyone's sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and beeper R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices and the speaker, smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by.
Well, good morning, and welcome to the Coffee Break Net. The Coffee Break Net is on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California, and is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club. Let's see it's a beautiful morning out here in Auburn. Having a great time. Looking at the national days, and, well, we got a couple of interesting ones. Just mostly fun. It is National Goof Off Day. Yes, it is official. You may goof off today, but today only, apparently. Once a year. What are your plans for goofing off today? It sounds like fun. Let's see. We always got to do food. Bavarian Crepes Day. I love Bavarian crepes. It's been a while since I've had them. Have you actually had them in their origin or just locally here in the United States? It is Daffodil Day, a day every year. We used to celebrate while we were at work. We would buy little daffodils and bundles and hand them out to our cancer patients. So Daffodil Days has been celebrating the health and well-being of all cancer patients every year this time of the year. If you get a chance to donate to it, I can tell you from personal experience, it does brighten up people's days. And I'm sure we'll be handing out a bunch of daffodils at work tomorrow, if not today. So they'll have a good time. And we have one more thing here. It is Talk Like William Shatner Day. What is your best Captain Kirk impression? Or you can talk like William Shakespeare, and I haven't a clue what William Shakespeare might have sounded like. That said, we'll go ahead and take some check-ins here. Take some quick in and outs. We'll start out with just in and outs, and we'll keep them short. KW6U. This is the Coffee Break Net taking in and out check-ins.
November 6th, Charlie Kilo Victor.
Kilo Bravo.
This is Kilo Bravo 7, Delta Foxtrot Papa, KB7 DFP, Kennan Twin Falls, pre-pedestrian mobile.
Good morning, Jeff. KB6 SSN. KO6 ISJ. KA6 UAI.
All right, we got the folks that got up with the chickens and to watch a beautiful sunrise. Good morning, all. Let's see. We have Ron. I've got you there as an in and out. KA6UAI. Good morning, Larry. KO6IHJ. Morning, Tom. KB6SSN. I think I got Brett. KB6LUV in there. Ken. KB7DFP and Carl. N6CKV. Did I miss anyone? All right. Let's go up to Carl. Good morning, Carl. Do you have a William Shatner impression?
Good morning, Jeff, and everyone else. No, it's safer to keep that to myself. Yeah, today's going to be a busy day. I have my helper coming to do some weeding, and I've got to do a Sam's Club run, so I'm going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off today. Thanks for running the net, Jeff. Back to you.
Oh, Carl, this is National Goof Off Day. You're supposed to do fun things, or maybe that is goofing off for you. Well, you have a great day, Carl. It's nice having you check in every morning, every time. So we'll talk to you later. N6CKV, KW6U73.
Okay, everyone have a good Sunday. N6CKV, I'm going to say 73, and thanks for running the net, Jeff.
Well, good morning, Ken. KB7DFP. For you, it is National Goof Off Day. You work almost 7 days a week.
Yeah, absolutely. I need a National Goof Off Day every Sunday, but yeah, I'm heading out for pedestrian mobile and then motorcycle mobile.
That sounds like a really nice goof-off day. Having a blast out there with fine weather that we're having. I'm sure it's gorgeous up there. Is it warm enough for the wildflowers to start popping out?
So far I think so, but yeah, it's been 71 to 75 or something in the afternoon, so that's not bad.
Well, then maybe you'll see a few on your ride, and be careful to look at the road and not just stare at the wildflowers.
All right, sounds good. I'm excited. I've already went out once yesterday or the day before. Anyway, so I'm enjoying that. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with that and eventually hop on the bike and go somewhere. I don't know where yet. It's still a little bit chilly here, but I know it's going to warm up. KB7DST.
Well, Ken, have a great walk and have a great ride. And it sounds like a good goof-off day for you. KB7DFT, KW6U73. Good morning, Brett. KB6LUV, International Goof Off Day. What's your goofing off today?
Good morning, KB6LUV. Yep, Brett here. Morning. Thanks for running the net this morning. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to actually be goofing off today. I've got some house stuff that I need to do. I'm still getting the pool ready for the season. The winter did a real good number on it, but thankfully I've got a filter this year that is working just fine. So working on the pool, working on the yard a little bit, getting rid of some of the weeds that have decided to pop up because that orange ball in the sky keeps making them grow.
Yeah, I've got a backyard full of weeds right now that I've got to get someone to knock down. It's not going to be, well, I guess I can get out there and do it. There's so much weed whacking that needs to be done and cleaned up that, right before landscaping comes in and redoes things.
Yeah, weeding is probably one of my least favorite things to do, but needs to be done. I just actually picked up a weed blowtorch that you connect to a propane tank. Wouldn't recommend using it in forested areas, but if you've got lots of concrete, or in my case, I've got decomposed granite throughout my entire backyard. Most of it, it's either decomposed granite or putting green in my backyard. We don't have grass, so I am just out there burning the heck out of weeds today.
Yeah, it works pretty well. I've used that before. I use it on my driveway and the walkways around the house, but I've got to be careful not to get out into the weeds, lest we start something we can't finish.
Yeah, and heaven knows it wouldn't take much. It's a tinderbox out there. There's lots of fuel and starting to dry out, so I think fire season is going to be pretty early and pretty dangerous this year. So. All right, well, keeping these quick in and out, I'm also going to say I'm not sure if my mom's up and listening, but if she is, good morning, Mom. Bonnie in Newton, Kansas. I'm also say good morning, Jordan, my grandson, who might be up and listening as well. Love you both. Have a good, amazing day. Everybody out there in Coffee Break Net land, have a great day. It's just going to be glorious here in Northern California. So, yeah, be blessed. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. KB6LUV, be of love, 73. Clear and listening.
All right, Brett, take care. Have a wonderful day. It's beautiful out there, so it's a good time to get out and do a little bit of something if you like. KB6LUV, KW6U73. Morning, Tom, KB6SSN. What are your goof-off plans for today?
Well, being a professional goof-off, it's kind of like every day is like the last day, you know what I'm saying? Okay, a couple things to cover for you here this morning, Jeff, one of which might bring up some conversation. Roy, let me see if I can remember his call, November 6, Whiskey Yankee Zulu, WYZ. He brought by for Larry and I to evaluate an Ameritron AL80A amplifier. This was made by Ameritron before MFJ bought them. beautiful, clean little desktop amplifier. Ameritron's claim to fame is their power supplies. They understood that these desktop amplifiers have anemic power supplies in them, and they put a robust power supply in there, and boy, we got a kilowatt out of it. Anyway, I found out that Roy wanted to sell it. He was going to take it to Hamfest, so now it's mine. And that came with an IntelliTuner, an MFJ IntelliTuner, a 998, I think it is, and you know, comparing that to the Palstar HF autos, kind of like the early American space program versus the Russian space program, that MFJ, it works. We hooked it up. It works just fine. But you can tell it was built in a warehouse with a dirt floor.
Or lived in a shed too long. One of the two. How funny. You can open that up and you can see how quickly they put those things together. Mass production, at least at that time.
Yes, indeed. I'm not trying to slight the Russian space program. I'm just, you know, if you look at their construction methods and their laboratories, and, you know, it's put together in a barn. You know, we've got clean rooms and all this other kind of stuff. You know, we do it in a sterile environment. So, you know, it's just, it's two different ways to do the same thing. You get the same results, so who cares? And the last thing for you here today, this might interest you. The word who, as in who is it, or who are you, that type of thing. The word who, any idea why it's spelled W-H-O?
I'm thinking, no, I don't. W-H-O, why it's spelled that way. It has to be something related to William Shakespeare.
Well, actually, the general period, actually, to be honest with you, you know, 1450s or so, 54, something like that, the printing press was invented. By the early 1600s, the early 15th century, the printing was taking place in countries all over the place of languages that they didn't necessarily speak, or wasn't their primary language, at least anyway. And one of the things is that in northern Africa, a lot of English material was being printed and shipped to Britain. And the printers who were setting the type realized that there were a lot of words in English that had TH and SH and PH, but here was this set of words that had HW, such as where, when, what, who, you know, why. All of these were HW words, and they thought that it looked much better in print if you made it WH to make it in line with the THs and the SHs and the PHs. So they changed it and started printing it WH as for who, which used to be HWO, which made it a little bit more sense. But yeah, you can thank the typesetters of the early 15th century of getting tired of, probably had OCD, didn't think it lined up just right, you know, so they swapped those two letters. And that's how we ended up with these odd spelled words like what and when and where and why, and they all used to start with an H.
Yeah, they found out starting with an H, and I do think I remember, now that you mention it, seeing some old type of where it was HW something. I'm trying to recall what the word was, but it does make sense. And reading some of the old typeface stuff is very difficult in today's English, but if you just sound it out, it's not that bad.
Exactly, and yeah, if you think about it, you do start, say for instance, the word when, you start it with an H. It's when, you know, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, so the ease of typesetting, didn't like the way it lined up. Something, I think that particular Y is lost. And you know, there you go. There's another HW word. That the Y is lost to history. But the fact is, we know when. So that's how who, and that's the when, where, and why of who. KB6SSN. Have a great morning.
I love it. A little tidbit in history. Those are interesting things. I'm going to have to go back and look at the timeline for that, but it had to have been in the late 1700s, I think, is what I am remembering. But very interesting. I like that. Aesthetic reasons for changing the spelling. Have a great day, Tom. Thanks for checking in. As always, enlightening. KB6SSN, KW6U73. morning, Larry. K06IHJ. What's your goof-off plan today?
Good morning, Coffee Break Net. Good morning. K06IHJ. I'm not going to goof off. I'm going back to bed after I get done checking in here. I'm not feeling too good today.
I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it's not a need for Daffodil Day, but hopefully it's something small and you'll recover. And maybe just call it a goof-off day and you'll feel better.
All right, it's official goof-off day. I'll Netflix it. I can't even talk today. I'll let you go. Everybody have a blessed day. Be careful out there. K06IHJ73.
All right, Larry, thanks for checking in and take care of yourself. K06IHJ, KW6U73. Hey, good morning, Ron. KA6UAI. What are you up to today? What's your goof-off plans?
KA6UAI. Well, first I wanted to comment on the HWO, and it explains the way Stewie pronounces the word whip, as in cool whip. Anyway, goof-off day, I think we're going to head over to the very local park, one park that we have in the development here, and go set up an actual antenna. I've been experimenting with an end-fed with a bought a balun and had some wire, and it turns out that after much research, the wire I have and the coating it has on it may have a very low velocity factor, which detunes the whole thing dramatically and makes the bandwidth extremely narrow. So I'm going to start over and return the balun and go with the old handy MCOM 2. I have one of those up in the trees in the backyard, hidden away from the HOA, and that 60 feet is what I'm looking for. It's an all-bander, and just going to start over with that, and that'll work fine. I don't like that stiff wire that it has. It's always a pain to keep the little key out of it, but it's much better than having great wire with no radiation, so that'll work out.
Yeah, sometimes those end-feds can have pretty narrow bandwidths in some of the bands, especially 15 where it jumps up. It's out of band just a little bit on occasion. Which, are you having a problem with all bands or just one?
No, it wasn't even set up. I got all of my, my connections and set up my wire. I actually made a 33 and a 66 footer. Made them a little long, working on the trimming, and I get the exact same SWR, or not the same SWR, but the same center frequency for the low point of the SWR, even after I've dropped about 4 feet off of the wire. And so that indicates that it's not actually looking at the wire, but only at the balun. And I've tried it with 2 different baluns, and I get the same result with this wire. It's that stranded, cheap stranded silicone-coated wire with a fairly thick coating. Boy, it's great to wind up and throw out there on the grass, and you never get a tangle. And if you do, you kind of shake it, and the tangles all fall out. But it certainly is going to be a pain to tune up. And by the time I buy some real wire, I will have spent more on a 3 or 4 band antenna than I will spend on a multi-band that I've tuned everything with in the shack. So I think that'll work better for portable.
Yeah, sometimes that happens with that. That's pretty neat wire, sounds like, if we can get it to tune. Fantastic. I like the Chameleon 10 to 80, end fed the 64-to-1, and it works really well tuned as it, without having to adjust it. In pretty much most of the configurations I've used it in, especially as an inverted V, but even as a sloper, or I've had it in a couple of different other configurations, and it always works. So I don't know what they did differently, and probably whatever capacitor they had and how it's set up. Sure, or just the winding itself is really good. Who knows? That's the way it goes with some of these balance. The winding makes a big difference too.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I actually have a Chameleon 49-1, and I'm still having problems. But anyway, when you talk about what it's hard to tell what they did. It's like I was catching a bunch of fish one day, and my brother wasn't, and he asked me what I was putting on that bait. It was a magic dust. But anyway, just wanted to mention one last thing before I get off here. In and out, but. When you were doing your, and this isn't political, it's just a observation. When you were doing your William Shatner interpretation, I recognized the cadence of a statewide politician that we have. So that was interesting. I wonder if he grew up watching reruns of Star Trek. Well, I'll let you get back to the net, and everyone have a great day today, and I'll goof off out in the park a little bit, and then maybe come back and goof off by laying in the chair and watching some races or something on TV. Who knows? K6UAI 7301.
Well, Ron, there might be some relationship there. It always seems to me that politicians are nothing more than actors, soulless, brainless actors that couldn't make it in the acting world. Have a great day. K6UAI, KW6U. Way too political for myself as well. All right, everybody. Good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. I've already started off the day with too much coffee, but I'll have more. Who's out there? Let me know if you are in and out.
KM6, YKX. Boy, KM6C8. Fox Queen Victor. Good morning. KC8 FQV. I'll stick around for a little bit.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
In and out listening.
All right, let me just get this sorted out real quick. Sounds like somebody's on the road, so I'll make sure we get going there. So I got Robert, KO6KMR, Mark, KC8FQV, Rob, KM6YKX, and there was one other station I may have missed. Come on back to me, please.
KK7, Yankee Oscar Charlie, Ron in Twin Falls.
All right, Ron, KK7, Yankee, Oscar, Charlie, I've got you. I'm going to go ahead and circle back up to Rob because he's on the edge of things. Let's see where he's at. KM6YKX, good morning, Rob.
Good morning. I'm mobile in Klein Village on my way back from a weekend memorial ride. We have a little tribute to one of our motorcycle friends who has gone to the other side, spread his ashes, and headed back. Hope the ham-fest went well, and I'll keep it short since I'm on ragged edge. KM6.
Well, Rob, you're fading in and out, but I'll let you know that the Hamfest hasn't occurred yet. Hamfest is actually next weekend, March 28th, Saturday. So you will have not missed it. You'll be around, hopefully, for that. And I'm glad you enjoyed a nice ride. Ride safe. And you're kind of probably out, so no need to reply. This is, good morning, Rob, KM6YKX, KW6U. Ride safe. And let's see. Good morning, Mark, KC8FQV. Next on the list. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, KCFQV. Hell, the sun was out for a while here. It made it up to 64 already now, so we're at 64 standing. But it may go higher than that because it's still early. Everything else is going good. So I don't know what we have in store for the day. I'm sure there's stuff. I know I got things I can do and should get done, but they don't normally get done. But other than that, just good hearing everyone. And let's send it back to net control. I have to look the calendar, what times and what things you have going on this repeater. There's so much going on, and there's so much in ham world going on. There's so much in life going on. So you say you're bored, it just you're not finding something to do. KSFQV, back to net.
Oh, yeah, there are lots of ways of goofing off on our repeater that plenty of folks to listen in. So I'm glad that we're able to reach out to so many. And, yes, lots of options. So feel free to check out the website when you need to find a net to be a part of. So, all right, Mark, you have a great day. Happy Sunday, National Goof Off Day as well. So have fun goofing off. KC8FQV, KW6U73.
73 KSFQV.
And good morning, Robert, KO6KMR. How are you this morning? What's on your goof-off agenda?
Well, good morning to everybody. My goof-off today is probably going to the gym and possibly doing a little bit of yard work, but other than that, that's going to be about it. One thing I did get in a little late on that conversation about the Chameleon 810 sloper antenna. Was that a positive review of that one, or what do you think of that one? Over?
Yeah, that's actually my first commercial antenna that I 10 to 80. I bought it for I have a Yaesu 857, and I used it for that when I would get out, into the field and whatnot. I used it in my backyard for quite a while. It was hanging up in the tree for a couple of years, and every time I bring it out and use it, it still works as a sloper and as an inverted V, and I've even used it as like an L. I mean, it works quite well for me anyway, and I didn't have to do anything to tune it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, I got in a little late on it, but otherwise, just hanging in the house, and I'll drink a cup of coffee and listen to the rest of the net. And on that, I'll just say Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, just monitoring. Over.
Well, I'm glad to have you check in this morning and enjoy the monitoring. And hopefully your Sunday is a nice little goof-off day. KO6KMR, KW6U73. And good morning, Ron, KK7YOC up in Idaho. How are you this morning? Got any plans to goof off?
This is Ron, KK7YOC in southern Idaho. Goof-off day, well, that's easy. I'll spend a lot of time outside, maybe working on the yard, a lot of time with the dog today. I recommend, you brought up William Shatner, I recommend people go see that movie that opened on Friday, Project Hail Mary. Recommend reading the book first, but it's an epic movie regardless. Back to net control, KK7YOC73.
Ron, I went and saw that movie last night with my wife, who's not a sci-fi fan, and she enjoyed the heck out of it. It's actually well done. They did a good job. It's hard to follow the book exactly, but they certainly did a good job with the movie. It's not, I wouldn't say overly complicated or too technical, but technical enough. Quite entertaining. Loved it. Really loved it. In either case, yeah, I think that recommendation's a good one, Ron. So have a great day. KK7YOC, KW6U73. I might be talking a bit fast this morning with the coffee pad. Let's see who's out there who would like to check in this morning. with the national days, and of course, Project Hail Mary just got released. So who's gone out and seen that movie, Project Mary? This is KW6U taking check-ins. Please let me know if you are an in and out.
50.
KM6RFB. W1ATB, in and out. Good morning.
WV8GFT, in and out.
KN6 SLM, Foothills, California. First job.
All right, good morning. Let's run through our list here. I've got John, KN6SLN. Good morning. Russ, WV8GFT. Got you as an in and out. Good morning, Aaron, W1ATB. And good morning, Scott, KM6RFB. Let's see. John, were you also an in and out? I missed that if I did.
No, I just have a kind of a technical question there. Whenever you get back around here or whatever.
No big deal. I'll go up to Russ here real quick. Good morning, Russ. WV8GT. How are you this morning?
Doing okay. I'm just trying to take Jackson for a walk. She's trying to take me for a drag, and I'm not letting her. So that's about it. I'm going to then go over to Tractor Supply and let her say hi to her friends. That's it. WV8GFT.
Well, a doctor I worked with for a number of years has said the best piece of exercise equipment ever invented was a dog and a leash. So enjoy your exercise and have a great day. WV8GFT, KW6U73. All right, I'll circle up to, good morning, Scott, KM6RFB. What are you up to today? You've got a lot going on always.
Well, finishing the final touches on some of the laptops that I got. One of them, a couple of us for the club members, and a couple of them are for my mom and my sister. But other than that, not much else going on.
Did I hear you're going to have time to goof off today? It's not your normal thing to do, but what are your goof off plans?
I don't know. She hasn't told me yet.
Well, when you find out, enjoy it. It is a good day to do little, if anything. So you've got your hobby. You enjoy doing all kinds of things. My goodness. So anything to goof off would be a welcome day for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm waiting on for some train stuff to come in the mail so I can move forward on a couple things. But other than that, I'm kind of on a standstill with an antenna build right now. And, just cleaning up a little bit.
Sounds like a day. It's a beautiful day for it. So open the windows, open the garage door, or whatever it is to get that fresh air, and enjoy the day.
Absolutely, and appreciate you doing the net. And hey, man, looking forward to next weekend. I can't wait for Hamfest. I got a couple things I'm going to donate. I've got some really nice hard cases I'm going to donate to the club table to sell, and they can do whatever with the money. And yeah, lots of good things.
Yeah, it is Hamfest coming up next weekend, so I'm glad you're able to donate a couple of things. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to miss it, unfortunately, and it pains me, but I booked a trip to Hawaii because normally the Hamfest was on the third weekend, and after we booked it, we found out the Hamfest moved to this coming weekend, and so I'm going to be in Hawaii instead, visiting family. Daughter's there with the grandkids. I will miss out. I'll be there in spirit only, but I'll have other things to do.
Well, heck, you might find a Hamfest on the island.
I hadn't even thought about that. I'll have to take a look. You know, it's a little bit on the rainy side, but we'll see when Hamfest is in Kauai. It's a small island by comparison to the Big Island stuff, so we'll see. I'll take a look and let you know if there is such a thing.
All right, Jeff, you have a great day, and everybody else have an awesome day as well. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see everybody next weekend. And you have fun in Hawaii. Kilo Mike 6, Romeo Foxtrot Bravo, back to net.
All right, Scott. Have a great day. KM6RFB, KW6U73. Good morning, Aaron. W1ATB. Did you go see Project Hail Mary yet?
Well, good morning, Jeff and Net. W1ATB here. Diana and I are going in about an hour to see it, so she's been working, so we couldn't go. But yeah, I am so looking forward to it. It was a great book. I read the book and listened to the audio book, and now I'm ready to watch the movie.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. I also think Diana's going to like it as well. Denise liked it, no doubt. It's a feel-good movie overall, and basically, I think they did a great job given the time constraints of making everything happen. You know, they have to cut certain things, or at least truncate it down, and it can lose those that didn't read the book a little bit, or the book gives you far more detail to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, like a lot of movies that are converted from books, you know, the books cover a large time space, you know, months, maybe years, and you condense that down into, 2 hours. It's you got to take some liberties, but I watched the interview and I watched some behind the scenes on that, and the author's like, yeah, we did our best to kind of keep everything in there and as much as possible. So.
Yeah, they did a good job of tracking with the intention of the book, and yeah, the choices to cut certain things out it left my wife lost a little bit at the very end, and if you hadn't read the book, I can see that, skipping too fast over a couple of things, but overall, I think they did a fantastic job of kind of following the pattern of the book and staying true to it. And really very much enjoyed the movie, how they came up with the look and feel of everything, and it stayed engaging.
Yes, I'm very, very, very looking forward to seeing it. I watched the behind the scenes on how they built the spaceship and all the panels and stuff, and holy cow, what went into that! All those panels with the displays are real, so and they had to have them so that certain ones would pop out so you could put a camera in there so you could get a close up and stuff. So it's pretty amazing what the work they go through to make a movie. I'm sure it's not near as much fun making it as it is watching it.
Yeah, it must be a strange thing being an actor in that environment. When you're looking at everything and. When you put it all together, when it's all put together at the end and you watch it, just wondering how on earth that happened, especially with all the takes they do. Which take did they keep for this scene or that scene? And they probably know, the experienced ones know a lot of the times, but I bet sometimes they're surprised that it came out that way.
Yeah, exactly. I read that, or I watched that Ryan Gosling, he I got to have these screens. This stuff has to be here because it's a one-person movie for the most part, and you know, he had to have something to talk to act to, you know. So I'm sure that gets to be hard when there's a lot of times when there's a lot of CGI in there, and it's like, you know, you're just talking to nothing. So it's nice to have actual props and stuff. So
I'll have to look at that. Is that a video that's on YouTube or something, or was it something on TV? What was the, where's that at to find the making of? I suppose I can find it if I just do a search.
yeah, it was on YouTube, and I think, although I watched a couple of them, but the one I watched was Adam Savage's, I think was the one.
Okay, so Adam Savage did something. I'll peek at that. I think it might have been better to just watch the movie first and then how they made it. Some of the mystery will be better. I think they did a good job though of describing things, you know, the way the book described it and how they visually presented it. So they did great.
Yeah, well, normally I wouldn't watch anything because I want to watch the movie first. But since I'd read the book twice basically. I wasn't too worried about behind-the-scenes stuff. I didn't watch any of the ones that, you know, give away, oh, here's how the ending was and what that meant and kind of stuff. So I didn't watch any of that stuff. I may watch it after, but I've read the book, so I kind of know how it ends. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing here in just a little bit. We just got back from walking our doggos, doing our little exercise this morning, exercising them. I didn't go out yesterday, so they were really restless. So. Yeah, no, you're going to Kauai, so that's awesome. I've taken my radio a couple times, and I don't think there's much activity there on that island for hams. It's kind of sad from a ham perspective.
No, I think it's probably better for HF than anything else. I've got my mom and my mother-in-law going with us. My daughter is there with the grandkids. Ryan is working there, so they're there. They stay for a month, and they'll be coming back with us, or you know, on the way back, trying to get the same flight that we're on the way home, so we can help manage kids. I guess I don't really know how that's going to work out. That's a moving plan, but because we've got basically, I'm hurting. I'm going to air quotes kids. That would be mom and mother-in-law. Rather than playing ham radio.
Yeah, that's usually how it is with me. I always take some radio with me. I haven't taken my HF yet. I don't think I've ever taken that one. I've taken just my Node and things like that, but I never have time. I'm always too busy doing other things, so it's like I turn it on in the evenings, and it's like, yeah, I can't find anything, so I turn it off.
That time is really the big thing, isn't it? Having enough time to do it. And a lot of the, there's plenty of places you can go and set something up, but I have to be in the shade. So if you go to the beach, I got to make sure that I'm out by the trees and that sort of thing. And so you can throw something in a tree there, but there's a cliff behind you, and it's only pointing one way, and there's all kinds of just simple little impediments. You have to make a deliberate effort to get out to a place where you can, throw something up in a tree and not be an issue for HF or vertical. Set it on the lawn. I don't actually have a decent vertical that's easy to set up on the lawn. I have a nice inverted V. If I can set up on a 10-car pole, I have to guy it down and do that. But the Tenkara pole that I use is too long to really pack for this trip. I can use a smaller one that I have that I can probably put it up, but I'll only go up about 10 feet, so I'm not really sure how that'll play out. So I've got this little CW rig that, the mountain topper I can take with me, but it's going to be too much work to set it up, I think, for the amount of time that I'll have to actually play.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Well, I have a super antenna in a little bag. If you want to borrow it, you're certainly welcome. Just let me know. But yeah, if it's like me, you get out there and you've got your hour you dedicate to it, and it's like, well, that was fun, but not much happened, and it's time to go to the next event.
That and knowing my mom, she'll want to ask a million questions while I'm doing it, which makes it really hard to concentrate and actually enjoy it. So I think I'll just keep myself free and available to be essentially the tour guide for Kauai for my mom and mother-in-law, and play with the grandkids. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Exactly, you're on vacations. Well, have a great time. It's we always have a good time over there, and usually go with my sisters and their hubbies. So we have a great time exploring the island and all that. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna get off and go get ready to go to my movie. So I will be reporting on that probably tomorrow. So I'm glad you got to go see it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, and everybody else, have a great day. 7-3 W6EK. Talk to you soon.
All right, Aaron, enjoy the movie. Have a great day, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We'll hear all about it tomorrow for sure. W6EK, KW6U, 7-3. All right, good morning, John, KN6SLN. What are you up to today? Happy Sunday. KN6SLN, John, good morning. All right, John, we'll go ahead and catch you next time. You can circle back at some point in time in the future. Well, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U. We'll go ahead and take some more check-ins. We got rag chews. That'll come up. Let me know if you are in and out, and we'll put you to the front. This is KW6U taking check-ins for the Coffee Break Net.
KN6SLN.
Well, John, welcome back, KN6SLN. Let me see if there's anybody else out there, and I'll come right back to you. Anyone else that wants to check into the Coffee Break Net this morning?
Uniform 3, Whiskey Mountain.
All right, there was a station, I see it on the note, I didn't get your call sign, might have to key up a little longer, but I think it's Victor Uniform 3, Whiskey, Montana, Tango. Is that a correct call sign for you?
Choose the local metal.
All right, I'll come back to you here momentarily, but we'll go to John this morning. Good morning, John, KN6SLN. How are you this morning?
Doing pretty good. I must apologize. I stepped away for a few minutes there, and I heard my name come up, so I apologize to everybody there. No, actually, we're sitting up here on Mount Lassen, just kind of enjoying the morning. My technical question, first of all, if I can ask it, is I'm trying to put my HF up. I'm new to HF, but I've been into 2 meters for quite a while. I was wondering if anybody can give me any kind of ideas about a 80-meter antenna that I can just put up, not a wire, but a stationary one. That's the first thing. And I guess you're asking about goof off days. I got my grandson. We have to take him home for to go to school, but that's probably what we'll be doing today, is working on HF for the first part and taking him home.
Well, you know, you got your grandson with you, so goofing off is high on the agenda. Have fun doing that. There are a lot of people that check in here and use quite a few different antennas. If you're not looking for a wire, I guess the next option is whatever vertical works. K6DXN seems to have some success with POTA Performer. I don't recall right away if that's an 80-meter option. I think it is, if I'm remembering it correctly. There are different vertical options that are out there. I know Chameleon makes one, POTA Performer, and a few others. So we might hear about that if you listen into the net later on today, and I'll post that question out there for folks who've had some success with an easy vertical is what I'm hearing, not a wire. We, most of the time, I mostly use a wire because it's just easy to throw, a weight up in through a tree and set up a sloper, and it works incredibly well. Not that difficult, but there are occasions where vertical works best, or I'll set up an V if I'm able to get a mast up. I use a 10-cara pole, a 27-foot 10-cara pole, and I make tie a little loop on the end and slide through an inverted V with that 10 to 80 end fed. So that's how I make that work. There's lots of options out there.
Yeah, I was just, I know there's a lot more people out there has a lot more experience than I do on the 80 meter whatnot. I got a 10 meter, 20 meter already up, but I'd like to get a 80. But anyway, I appreciate the net, and like I said, this is I'll be here every morning. It seems like. And I just want to thank everybody that's running in that. I really like it. It's nice. So on the Hamfest, that is going to be up by Loomis. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is in Loomis, California. It is a short drive from the Highway 80 to get off at Horseshoe Bar Road. You'll dead end straight into the Hamfest. There'll be folks there directing traffic to the parking areas nearby. The Loomis train station is where it's at. So I would say it's just a quarter of a mile from the freeway. It's very close, not far at all. It'll, given that it's a spring day, it's going to be beautiful at that time. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah, we might just kind of take a drive down that way, and like I said, I appreciate it, and we'll turn it back to you there, and I'll be listening, and this is KN6 from Mineral, California.
All right, John, have a great day. Enjoy goofing off with your grandson. KN6 SLN, KW6U73. Okay, Victor, Uniform 3, Whiskey, Mike Tango. Good morning, and I'll have to ask where you are from.
Good morning to all our friends in the frequency of Whiskey 6 Echo Kilo. And handle is Lokesh, QTH is India. I repeat, handle is Lokesh, QTH is India. Over.
Very good. Coming in from India. Nice to have you in here. Wow. I didn't realize you were able to reach us from there. I've never made a contact there, so fantastic. I guess you're using a node, I suppose, coming through that way. Good morning, and whereabouts in India, north or south?
Okay, so it's southern part of India, and the exact state or district is Hyderabad. I repeat, exact district is Hyderabad. How do you copy?
Very good. I've got southern India and the state. I'll have to look that up a little bit to finish the spelling. My apologies, but thank you. Wow, that's fantastic. The wonders of nodes being able to call around and listen into the net. Have you listened in? You've listened into us before, but have you checked in with us?
Controller. So this is the first contact being established with this repeater, Whiskey 6 Echo Kilo. Over.
Very good. Well, thank you for that first contact. That is wonderful. I'm also going to try and get your handle here. What is your name?
Okay. Handle is Lokesh. I repeat, Lima, Oscar, Kilo, Echo, Sierra, Hotel. Do you copy?
Lokesh, Lokesh. Did I get that right?
QSL, affirmative.
Fantastic. We got you from Lokesh. Very good. Thank you, wow, for checking in from India. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to the net? We are normally a rag-chew net. We'll sit and talk for a minute. But also, quick in and outs are just fine. Did you have any comments for this morning's net?
No net controller, just a regular check-in, no traffic, copying of 59 plus. Just leave for the day. QRU 73 and have a good day. V3 Whiskey Mike Tango, over.
All right. Well, thank you so much for checking in this morning. It was great to hear you come in via Node, and welcome to the net, and check on in anytime. We are here every morning, 7:30 to around 10 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you again for checking in. Victor Uniform 3 Whiskey Motel Tango 73. Well, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U taking some check-ins this morning. We've been talking around the world a little bit this morning, but the movie Project Hail Mary is our current topic, I guess, and along with having a goof-off day. Who is out there who would like to check into the net this morning? Please let me know if you are a quick in and out.
Alpha India 6 Uniform Sierra, quick in and out mobile.
KA3 BPM in and out, please.
K6 DCL. I'm around.
All right. Good morning, Dave, K6DCL. Good morning, Jimmy, K3VGM. And good morning, Brian, AI6US. You're on the road, so let's get you in here.
Hey, good morning, Jeff and everybody on the net, AI6US. Yeah, headed over to the main vault. Doug and I are doing a little landscaping today. We fell down about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and management hadn't addressed it yet. So we're going to be bucking some trees and you know, everything else that goes along with maintaining a repeater.
Okay, well, don't forget to relax and in the lounge and have a beer while you're.
Yeah, somebody did not stock the kegerator last time, so. But anyway, no, just a beautiful morning. Hopped up and worked Pacific Rim on 40 meters earlier this morning, and yeah, overnight. Just kind of a mention. A lot of people, during the day, with our solar activity the way that it's been, they're forgetting that nighttime is a pretty good time to hop on 40 or even 20 meters for the past 4 or 5 nights has been open way past midnight into Central Europe. So just kind of a reminder that maybe daylight hours are not the best, but interesting things happen at night. But anyway, you have a wonderful day. I'm taking the exit off of 80 now to head into the vault, and appreciate you being there today.
All right. Well, say hi to Doug, and don't work too hard. It's nice and cool this morning, so get the work done before it warms up at least. And thanks for all that you do with keeping the repeater functioning, healthy, and well. I know it's hard work to do. Thanks to Brian, and have a great day. AI6US, KW6U73.
7-3. Yeah, nobody mentioned that landscaping was involved with repeater maintenance. AI6US clear. Have a great day, everybody.
It never fails. All right, good morning, Jimmy KA3VGM. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, Jeff. KW6EK 3VGM. We're having a very warm day back here in Pennsylvania. It's supposed to be 80 degrees later. Not sure what it is now, but it's supposed to be 80 degrees later. But we're going to cool right back down and be back in the 40s tomorrow. So it's going to drop 40 degrees. So I'm going to try to go outside today and get my hair cut, if all goes well, and watch the NASCAR race that comes on later. But that's my plan for the day. KW6U in the group, K3VTM. Good morning to you and everybody else on the net.
Wow, that is a big swing in the weather for Pennsylvania. I don't even think it's going to reach 80 degrees here today. So, wow, fantastic. So you're going to be nice and warm and then cold the next day. That's a big swing, 40 degrees. We get those from time to time, but that seems a little shocking to me. Is there still, I guess there's no more snow on the ground in that case.
Well, if there is any, it will be gone today, that's for sure. But yeah, I actually don't like that. Those big swings like that are hard on the body, that's for sure. K3VTM. Back to you, Jeff.
Well, and I'm not sure what the humidity is in Pennsylvania. I imagine it's much higher than it is here. So 80 degrees here when it's dry with a slight breeze is rather comfortable, but 80 degrees there with a higher humidity, not so much. We'll have a great day, Jimmy. Hopefully you get to enjoy some warmth today, and then stay warm tomorrow if you can. Nice talking to you. Happy Sunday, and we'll catch you next time. KA3VGM, KW6U73.
K3VGM clear.
Well, good morning, Dave, K6DCL. How are you this morning? And Lucy?
Well, we were good up until, we got through Jimmy's time on, and I knew I was coming up, and I spilled my oranges all over the table. Got my tablet on the keyboard. Oh my God. Anyway, luckily the keyboard is removable. But so I got Lucy's quickly cleaning up. It gets too sticky, and it's just a disaster. Anyway, so now I'm helping out, and probably going to make matters worse because I. Back to you, Jeff. This is crazy.
Well, you got a mess on your hands, huh? I mean, that you dropped out just for a moment there and then came back, but hopefully it's not too messy for you.
well, trying to get the orange juice up and wiped off because it'll only get worse with sticky. Orange juice is sticky. But anyway, I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about, but I guess not. So I ordered an antenna analyzer, and because I have a 40 and 80 meters on my antenna, it's a wire antenna, 100 exactly 100 foot long, and I've got it going into a 1 to 9 on them, and which works. It works on 20 meters and above. So I know it works. I just have to get it resonant, and I got to find out where it is on the scale of SWR, and then get it going the right way. I probably have to take 4 feet off, but who knows? Until I get the spectrum, the analyzer, and I have not used my Yaesu FT-DX10 since I did this dirty deed of putting it on the wire, and so I had to take my keyboard off my tablet, and the tablet is saved. I don't know about the keyboard. But, so I've got to do that. I'll do that this week, and I'll get a friend to come over and chop off some of how much I'm taking off the, there I go, my finger gets weak. Anyway, got to fix the antenna. That's the major project for this week. Back to you, Jeff. It's been a good morning so far, except for this orange juice catastrophe.
Well, orange juice anywhere near electronics, keyboard, desk, not fun. Hopefully you you don't have equipment to clean up, and your microphone isn't full of sticky orange juice. And keep it clean. It's not so easy sometimes.
I'm using my M1KE, which is almost a year old, and still working. Yeah, and love my M1KE. And no, I kept that out of the way. I was smart about that, because that's a heck of a lot more than the keyboard itself. So I can get that replaced if I have to. But it's pretty, these things are pretty well sealed, even in the keyboard area. So I'll have to see what happens. Anyway, Jeff, thanks a lot for doing the net. Without you, we would be not knowing what to do for Sunday morning. 7-3, take it easy. I hope you can enjoy the rest of the day. Go out on a motorcycle, all that stuff. K6 DCL, over to you, and we'll talk to you later.
Well, it certainly is a beautiful morning out here, and I hope to be able to enjoy it. I'm sure I will. There's plenty for me to do. So have a great day, Dave. Thanks for checking into the net. Say hi to Lucy for us. And hopefully that orange juice doesn't create a sticky keyboard. K6DCL, KW6U73. All right, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. We've been talking about a few different things. I'll wait a little bit until 9 o'clock to go through whatever is going on in Sierra Foothills, which are Radio Club and the Nets. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and take some check-ins here this morning. Let me know if you are in and out. Variety of topics today, and I think mostly it's National Goof Off Day. haven't heard anything about Bavarian crepes. Who's a crepe lover? Talk like William Shatner. I don't know. Who can do that? But the other thing is that Project Hail Mary is now in the movie theaters. For those who know about the book, I know it's been talked about before. Did you see the movie? I did last night. And I know someone else is going to see it today. Who plans on seeing Project Hail Mary? This is KW6U taking check-ins. Let me know if you are in out.
KO6TH, good morning.
K4LGI.
Well, good morning, Sam, K4LGI, and good morning, Greg, KO6TH. Sam, I need to ask you if you are quick in and out. Are you going to stick around for a while, or you want me to take Greg first?
Stick around a few minutes. Go ahead and get Greg there.
All right, Greg, you get to be right up front this morning rather than at the end of the list. Good morning. How's it going? And I don't know if you read the book Project Hail Mary or seen the movie yet, but I think you might like it. KO6TH, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO6TH. No, I have not read the book nor seen the movie. I was vaguely aware of it before, but a lot of people talking about this thing. I need to get the book first. My daughters insisted back during the Harry Potter series to read the book before seeing the movie, and it's definitely the better way of doing it versus the other way around. So, our eldest, the families got together over the weekend, and she said that she read the book and loved it. Finished it in 3 days or something, and I'm not that fast a reader, but it's quite enjoyable. I need to follow and do that. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos on interviews with both Ryan Gosling and Andy Weir. What's her name? Dr. Becky Smether. She's a real astrophysicist. Does research on black holes and stuff, and had an interesting talk with Andy Weir about some of the science behind the thing. And apparently, he goes really, really deep before taking a slight detour with the physics, but to support this whole thing. So it's she was very impressed with how he did the whole thing. So anyway, highly recommend her channel. Anyway, when you think about what's going on in space, she puts out a video twice a month, with one of them being split into what's coming up in the sky, followed by the other half is the what's happened in the past couple of weeks. So those videos the night sky news videos are really interesting on keeping tabs with what's going on up there. So I haven't seen the movie yet, but sounds like a good one to go put on the calendar. KO6TH, back to you.
Well, having read the book and then seeing the movie, I think I would agree with your assessment. If you plan on reading it, I think you'll enjoy the movie just fine. Obviously, they have to truncate the movie a little bit and kind of cut things short and clip it out. I think overall they did a really good job of getting the feel of it, and you can fill in the spaces pretty easily mentally with having read the book first. Kind of the same. Well, Harry Potter's a little more dark in the books than it is in the movies, and it's the same thing here. The problems get expanded, but they did a great job overall of making it entertaining and accessible for probably younger people can watch it and get a sense for things. It's actually a really, really great story.
It sounds like something worth pursuing And I guess if you only saw one, either you did one or the other, the movie would be the better. Well, I don't know. The pictures are always better in the books, right? The ones between your ears, and I don't know. The Harry Potter ones, they did pretty good job. One of them, I forget which one it was. A whole chunk of the book was left out, and it made a difference in the movie. It left out some important details. So that wasn't so good, but overall it did a pretty good job there too. Anyway, this is a chores around the house day. I need to make a little faster progress on my taxes. I just got another pamphlet, just about a quarter of an inch of stuff from one of the finance group, whatever it is, Raymond James, I think. Anyway, so I gotta fold that in. But yeah, it's going to be a busy day. And we got in the shack on Wednesday. We got on premises ham swap meeting on Thursday, and then Saturday, of course, is the ham swap. So yeah, going to be an interesting week coming up. KO68, back to you.
Well, I'm going to look up that YouTube video and just kind of see all about, how Andy Weir went through the science on this. It'll be fun to kind of get that. I'm sure they took liberties, of course, as they always do. They have to keep the story progress. In this case, if you're only going to watch one, I just think it depends on where you are in life. Greg, I would suspect that you would probably enjoy the book more than the movie, but at the same time, you would enjoy the movie if you hadn't read the book. You might see some of the potential gaps, but you wouldn't even know you're missing some detail, right? So that's kind of the thing about the book. It can go much deeper. But for my wife, she was perfectly happy with the movie and thought it was, fun and a little bit cute and all that kind of stuff. There's, I hate to say that word cute for this kind of a movie, but it was a good movie and on its own standing, so not bad.
Well, very good. Definitely on the list here. So, and then to the days today, daffodils. So the daffodils are already gone, I think. I mean, they came up in the front, and I think I missed them, but they are there. We always had. I mean, we planted them, 30, 40 years ago, and they're still coming up every year. Spreading out a bit more. They're doing nicely up by the sidewalk. And what else? Yard work and yard work. Then and sprinkler pipe repair. I've got the one of the drip lines is just shredded underground, but it is just disintegrated and it's leaking, spurting water everywhere, totally unusable. So I had to put a whole new line in. So anyway, on with that, I guess, and looking forward to hopefully, cross my fingers, picking up a Shack in the Box radio at the ham swap on Sunday. I need that for the boat. KO68, back to you.
You've got some shopping to do at Hamfest. Fantastic. I'll bet you'll find something worthwhile. And daffodils, they might be done here in our area in Auburn, but have you been to Daffodil Hill? You'll have to check that out up the way. I'm just trying to blank of where it's at. I think it's off of Highway 16 somewhere. Somebody else can correct me. Foothills area. And that's California. Daffodils are popping up in everyone's garden across the country right now, and so it's really kind of a nationwide American Cancer Society thing, I believe, fundraiser. So very cool. Have a great day, Greg. Good luck finding something at Hamfest. I'll look forward to hearing about it when I get back from Hawaii. A Shack in the Box for the boat. Obviously, in a nice waterproof container. Have a great day. KO60H, KW6U73.
73, Jeff. Have a fun in Hawaii. Don't get rained on too badly. Hopefully, where you're going isn't being affected too much by the storms. And good luck with travel. KO60H, 73.
Every time I've been, and it said it was raining like crazy, the sun still opens up from time to time. It just might be a cloud or two, and then it moves on. It's never really that bad. And the weather varies depending on where you are on the island. There's the wet side and the dry side, and we'll take the time to look at the weather and go visit both. All right, I'll talk to you later, Greg, and we'll catch you next time. Good morning, Sam, K4 Lima Golf, Idaho. How are you this morning, and how's the weather out in Denver?
Good morning, Jeff, everybody. Nanette here from Denver. Well, it's about 48 plus, going up a little bit. Checked just a few minutes ago, and I was surprised to see 48. A little bit cooler today than yesterday, but let's see if we'll warm up tomorrow some here. If you hear anybody hollering out numbers, you kind of know where I am. I tried one place, the music was too loud, and came over here, and the music's kind of loud too, but can't do much about the background unless I go outside. Sounds like you got the world at your fingertips this morning, Jeff.
It's just beautiful this morning, and I've had 4 cups of coffee, so it could be that.
Well, you got the world checking in here. It's the first time I've heard of the uniform checking in. Made me feel like I should have curry on my breakfast here this morning. I looked up the movie and started reading the apps and all that, and I got a little distracted, so I just put it off for another day, I guess. It looked pretty crowded there. I guess there's a big rush to get a seat. Did you have any problems finding a seat out there?
Well, we have a theater here in Auburn that isn't as busy as the other ones down in Roseville. We wanted to go to another theater down in the Rockland area. There's a Studio Movie Grill. We were going to have dinner there and watch the movie at the same time. Kind of a neat place. They were full. They had, of course, a few openings on the edges, but not in the center of the screen. But here in Auburn, the movie was, there were quite a few seats. It wasn't a big deal. We were able to buy our seat ahead of time, and we went to dinner somewhere local and then went to the movie.
Sounds like a winner. Yeah, I was checking it out here. It had a 70-foot screen in one of the theaters, and I was checking into a couple of seats that were empty, and they said, well, wheelchair seats. So I didn't have a wheelchair, so I let that one go by. This morning I was at McDonald's, and the place is kind of empty, so I think it's the weather causing the slow down there, Jeff.
Well, hopefully that'll go by pretty quick. And weather's just weather, so it moves on. It's actually nice for us right here. Beautiful, of course. But hopefully that won't cause you too much trouble. We'll find out, as we get along here.
Roger, Dodger. Well, every other year the Rockies go out of town the first of the season. I think this year they're going out of town, but last year they almost got caught in the snow. In fact, I think it did snow one night, and had to go out and clean off the seats or something. So anyway, the trees, I'm looking outside here, are starting to blossom and things of that type. So it's looking up here, but we did have a snow in April last year. So anyway, with regard to those black bags there, I mentioned I use a Radio Shack black bags to cool the water down, keep the water cool. And it can be very thin black. It isn't. The thicker it is, it doesn't do too much. It's mostly balling the thing up and putting a weight on it overnight or so, letting it have permanent wrinkles so there's space between the different layers of film. And surprisingly, it does seem to work out pretty good. Well, there may be a few other souls waiting around here, and I'm finishing up my coffee, so I'll check you out a little later here, maybe next week or so. K4LGI.
All right. Well, you have a good day. Yeah, you'll figure that out. Have a great day. Hopefully it all works out for you. And this is KW6U. Good morning, Sam. We'll talk to you next time. K4 Lima Golf, Idaho. KW6U 73. Morning all, Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U taking some check-ins. Let's see. You know what? Before we take check-ins, I apologize. I'm going to go through the typical announcements that we do. It's approaching 9 o'clock, and then we'll go back to checking in. This is the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California, and we do have quite a few nets. We are every morning 7:30 to 10 a.m., but throughout the week we've got quite a few. So Sunday evenings there's some form of Placer County Aries exercise. That's hosted by Scott KM6 RFB. It may be on the W6EK Repeater, KI60K Repeater, or some other form of an exercise. If you're interested in Placer County Aries, you can just do a quick Google search, Placer County Aries, and you'll find a very useful webpage with all kinds of emergency resources and links. Very interesting information, worth a look. Every Monday we have an all nodes net. That is 6 p.m. Pacific time. This is a nationwide net. And, you know, of course, if you're from somewhere else in the world and you happen to be awake, come check into that net. You'll learn things about nodes. An Elmer net for nodes. We also have an Elmer net every first and third Wednesdays on the W6EK 2-meter repeater, hosted by Eric, W6EMR. Go ahead and check in, post your question, or if you're the guy with the answers, you're going to find out that it's a very interesting. Post your problem, and you'll learn all kinds of things about possible solutions for whatever trouble you're having. There is what I like to call an alter ego to the Elmer net, is the All Nodes net, and that is on the club Zoom room, so a visual experience, and that way you can show off the problem you're having. Maybe you don't know how to solder, and you want to show off your poor soldering project, or what a really clean soldering job looks like. You're able to do that on the All Nodes, on the in the shack, fourth Wednesdays on the club Zoom room. So you can just check W6EK.org, and you click the Zoom button and get right on in there, 7:30 p.m. in the shack, second and fourth Wednesdays. There is a weekly 2-meter net every Thursday, 7:30 p.m., where we get some officer reports, ARRL news, a satellite report, and the world-famous mystery question. Mystery questions are fun. They're thought-provoking. They'll make you think a little bit. It's a trivia question, exclusively ham radio related, and a lot of fun to listen to the different possible answers, take some guesses at that. So, but really what the Thursday night net is for you to check in from wherever you are. If you're able to check in RF from one of your 3 or 4 different radios, that's how you check out to make sure things are working the way they should. Every Thursday, 7:30 p.m., weekly Thursday net. We do have some nets on Fridays on occasion. Every first and third Friday, there's a Friday night trivia. And that's just an informal net to keep the repeater alive on Friday nights. Maybe you're kind of sitting at home for a little bit waiting for dinner. Yeah, go ahead and check into the net. Friday nights, first and third Fridays, 7:30 p.m. And guess what? The Loomis Ham Fest. I'm going to say world famous, certainly nationwide famous. Everybody knows about the Loomis Fest, Saturday, March 28th, 7 a.m. For club members to be there. And, you know, if you're working it sometimes earlier, some folks will be there at 4:30 and 5 to set up. If you are a club member, we do need help. You can always use your help. Please go ahead and go to the W6EK.org and sign up to be a volunteer. You'll get a free donut. Donuts and coffee come with the work. You know, you can start your day off right with proper nutrition for Hamfest. And then, of course, you'll get to enjoy some of the best weather springtime has to offer and fantastic sales. They have been getting busier and busier, and we have more and more options. So we're looking forward to this year's Hamfest. It's very convenient at the Loomis train station right off of Highway 80. Nearly about a quarter mile or so away. There's folks there that'll help you direct traffic to good parking, and enjoy the day. Hamfests are fun. Now, the last Saturday of every month, we do have a club breakfast. That is also Saturday, March 28th, 7:30 a.m. at Mel's on Highway 49. We expect this particular breakfast to be a lot slower just due to the Hamfest, but some people like to go there. ham breakfast first, and then head down the hill to the Ham Fest. So maybe that'll happen one way or another. So there's always going to be something. But don't expect a big crowd for this monthly breakfast. There will not be a fox hunt this month due to the Ham Fest. There will be the last Saturday of every month another fox hunt coming up in May. So look forward to that.
Clear. Temperature.
The next club meeting, the second Friday of every month, we have a meeting, Friday, April 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the new location, Placer County Health and Human Services Conference Center. It's a beautiful conference center with great audiovisual equipment and online. So it's a great Zoom experience as well as in person. We, of course, like to see everybody in person. Really, it's just nice to meet faces and whatnot. We want to fill up the room. There's plenty of room. I don't think you can fill it up very easily. Great time, good talks, and we'll hear all about that coming up. The tech classes. The next tech class coming up starts April 21st to May 26th. So if you are looking forward to getting your ham license and you would like a formal instruction, the classes that Orion and Anders and others put on, you can go to W6EK.org. These are Zoom classes with a couple of hands-on labs. You can't take it from farther away. You just would miss out on the labs, but it is definitely a worthwhile experience to go through the class. You will learn more than most typical classes. You'll thoroughly understand what you're doing when you take the test. So go ahead and sign up for that if you're interested in it. There's information at W6EK.org on the tech class. There'll be a get on the air and an antenna build, so it's really very fun to take. We'll have periodically a general class and an extra class. The general class will come up in the summer, but the tech class is coming up April 21st to May 26th. And invite everybody you know who wants to be a ham to that class. And when you're ready to come in, please, the exam on hamstudy.org. This next Sierra VE session is Monday, April 6th, 7 p.m. at the Confluence Church campus in Auburn. And that's always fun because you've got some Elmers there to kind of sit with you for a minute and go over what's next. I got my license, now what? And we run into that all the time. Sometimes you realize you want to get your license for a reason, but you're not really sure what the next steps are. We'll have somebody to sit down with you and go over that. Granite Bay VE Group meets Saturday, April 11th at the Rayleigh's Event Center on Douglas and Auburn Folsom, and the Folsom VE team is Thursday, April 16th in Folsom. Go to hamstudy.org and book one of those exams when you're ready to get your exam or get your upgrade.
Who's coming, please?
Go ahead and take some more check-ins. Let's see who's out there. It is 9:03. By all means, let me know if you are and in and out. This is KW6U taking check-in.
Kilo Charlie 6, Sierra Lima Echo.
Well, good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE. How are you this morning, and what are you up to today?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning to the net. Going back to weeding again. We've been weeding all week long. Today will be day 6. We were doing some slash and burn the last 2 days, clearing out a seasonal dry creek we have that traverses our property. Just a wall of growth. Probably hasn't been cleaned out in decades and decades. So I've been burning nonstop for 2 days too. Just burned up. You can't believe the amount of vegetation, but everything getting it dialed in for fire season, which is here. Again, if people haven't started their weeding, the weeds are thick, they're tall. It's a tough weeding year.
I've got that same problem going on. They just get a little bit of water, and boy, they're really growing like crazy right now. With the rains we had this year, there's plenty of moisture in the ground for thick, heavy weeds.
The other thing I suspect is that, they've been shutting down burns. Pretty much May 1st, they've been shutting down the whole burning process. This year, because things are warmer sooner, I'm suspecting that it may be shut down quicker. So if you have stuff to clean up and to burn, to dispose of, you may not have as big a season as you think. It could be shut down earlier than normal. So two reasons to get at it. One is so you can burn. The other is the sooner you get to it, the easier it'll be.
Yeah, the sooner the better, no doubt about it. Yeah, I do like to use, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I have a little, I call it my little flamethrower. Really, it's just a weed. It's just, I kill the weeds in the driveway with it, but I'm not even going to attempt to get to anything close to some of the weeds in the backyard.
I have the same thing, and it serves a useful purpose, getting in among the rocks and the gravel in the driveway and so forth. But it's getting to the point now where I will minimize its use or eliminate its use because it's just too dry out there. On the burn pile, the last couple of days, I've had to keep everything wet about 100 feet around the burn pile because you get little spot fires that break out.
Oh yeah, you really got to watch that. It's getting kind of warm for that though, isn't it? It's best when we I like the burn piles when we have rain. I've always enjoyed, doing the burn pile when it's a drizzly day.
That is unfortunately, I don't see any rain in the forecast. So that's what I'm up to. We're on the back hill now, which is always a challenge. My son's got poison oak over a large percentage of his body because he's been down in there with the bobcat and the grapple bucket clearing out that creek area. And then yesterday he was down there with the weed whacker just plowing through poison oak. I've got some spots. It usually takes 2 or 3 days before it starts showing up on me, but I'm looking down my forearms and there's little bumps.
Comments?
Yeah, hopefully you don't have poison oak. That's no fun. I was hiking recently, when I was doing on the trails going down to Granite Bay, and boy, oh boy, the poison oak through that section is just going to town. And there was a spot I had that, I had my hat on, and I was tiptoeing through the trail, looking down low. I was wearing shorts and just regular running shoes. And I didn't look up in time to see this one that was hanging up the hillside that was drooping down and brushed the side of my face. And fortunately, I was able to get to the Tech-New wipes quick enough to avoid a big problem.
That Tech-New is a great product. We have the bottle in the laundry room. We use that in each load of laundry at this time of year when we're doing the weeding. And there's a, I don't know if it's made by Tech-New, but there's a bar soap that you can get. SPD handles it. It's got oatmeal in it, among other things, but it does a really good job getting the poison oak oils off it. But yeah, I didn't know that Tech-New made wipes. I'll have to look for those. In fact, I got to go get another bottle today.
Yeah, if you're going to be in and around it, it's worth having a couple of packages of those. They're not cheap, but they're definitely worth it. It spared me having a big poison oak rash on my face, so that's good. It was right up next to my eye. The hat kind of brushed it away, and it wiped my face as it went down my cheek. And and I went ahead and wiped up my legs as well, and just to make sure. But yeah, I'm surprised at how well it worked. I'm glad I had it, and that was a good thing to have.
Comment?
The poison oak this year is much more prevalent than it's been in the past. I try to keep it knocked down, but it has multiple ways that it propagates, and one of them is the vines that grew up into the trees, and we ran into a lot of that down by the creek. And those are less easy to spot because they start wrapping themselves around the tree and traveling up the tree. They'll go 20 feet into a tree. So it's easier to see the for me, it's easier to see the poison oak that's leafed out and on the ground. But you can get poison oak from the roots, you can get poison oak from the stems, you can get poison oak from any part of the plant. So when you're trying to clean the vines off, you have to be very, very careful, because just brushing up against them will give you poison oak.
There was a comment in there. Go ahead and comment.
KB6UV. Yeah, you guys kind of beat me to the comment, though. The tech news stuff is definitely the way to go. Man, I can look at poison oak or poison ivy. Poison oak, I can look at it sideways and I'll catch it. So that's the thing. And I will say, add real quick, don't ever use it as firewood. Unfortunately, when I was in Boy Scouts, there was a group of Boy Scouts that decided to use poison oak as firewood, and they all got poison oak in their lungs. It was horrible. Anyway, KB6UV, staying clear of poison oak. Be of love. 73, clear and listening.
Yeah, that's super important that you don't throw poison oak into a burn pile. That's part of the thing, or at least make sure it's a really rainy day if you're going to do that. Be far away from it. Well, Graydon, yeah, that's good advice from Brett. I remember seeing poison oak when you go to the redwoods. You'll see poison oak goes up close to 100 feet up in the air. It runs up the redwood trees. There's that much shade for it. It likes the shade. It'll do well in the filtered stuff up there. But I've seen it go way up a redwood tree.
Yeah, it likes to climb. It's a vine. So that's what I've been up to, Jeff. I'm going to go out right now and mix up some more two-stroke fuel. Gone through a lot of gas in the last 2 days, but I don't know how they think that people are going to get away from gas line trimmers and blowers and stuff like that in large areas, and how they're going to be able to use battery. One of my neighbors is trying to use a battery-operated line trimmer. He can get about 40 minutes off the battery, and he's got 2 large batteries. So he gets maybe an hour and a half in, and he has to throw the batteries on the charger. The batteries are hot at that point, so they aren't going to charge till they cool off. I'll tell you what, I'm all for electric, I'm all for battery power, but it would be totally impractical if you've got acreage to try to do a gas line trimmer. Fortunately, you can still get them, but at some point in the future, they're supposed to shut that off.
Yeah, I think they work okay around a little, postage stamp lot. But you're right. If you've got a real, yardage or place to work, it's just not going to be effective. No doubt about it. I'm sure they'll come up with better solutions in the future, but right now there isn't a good one. And I'm going to use my gas trimmer until someone tells me that, until I get fined, I guess. I really don't know. I just don't see a fantastic alternative to a gas trimmer at the moment either.
There are a lot of communities in the Bay Area now where they're not allowed to use gas chainsaws or gas trimmers. And the tree trimmers in that area, by law, they can be fined in the morning, they can be fined in the afternoon. They can be fined, I don't think the fines are real heavy yet. So what they do is they just build the fine into the job. So if you're hiring them to do tree work, they go ahead and use the gas trimmers. Guy comes by, writes him a ticket, and in the afternoon comes by and writes him another ticket, and it's just built into the estimate for doing the work.
Ultimately, guess who pays the fine? It comes down to the consumer, always paying it no matter what. And, hey, it'll be made a revenue source for the state of California's fantastic management of their finances.
A lot of it is about taxation and revenue, but we won't go into that. So what I'm waiting for, and then I'll let you go back to the net, I'm waiting for my little AI-driven robot that I can turn loose on this property and just program in where I want him to go and clean up the weeds, and I can just direct the process rather than actually do the process. So maybe I'll live long enough to see that.
There you go. That works. Yeah, it's... Oh, excuse me. Anyway, I'll give it back to you for a second. My apologies. I got a cough while I listen.
There might have been a comment in there.
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
Anyway, I am going to go mix up some fuel. My son's already out there getting ready to head down. We're going to divide up the back hill. He'll take the more steep areas. I'll take the more flat areas, not long, but I hope to get most of it done today so we can get on to other things. Jeff, good talking to you. Good talking to the net. Everyone have a great day. KC6 SLE.
All right, Graydon, thanks for checking into the net this morning. Be careful out there, and I think I would just get one of those giant white throwaway suits with some rubber boots that I touch but once a year, and a big face mask. Have fun weed-eating poison oak. KC6 SLE, KW6U. Be safe.
6 SLE.
All right, good morning, Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U. Go ahead and take some more check-ins. Let me know if you are in and out.
KD6U, Peter Elk Grove. I'll be here for about 20 more minutes.
Well, Peter, KD6QZH, the mic is all yours. Good morning. How are you this fine Sunday morning?
I'm doing good, just heading off to church. It's been a pretty good weekend so far. I second what everyone said about poison oak. Don't put it in, don't use it. I was actually many years ago responded to a medical call where someone did that, and they got all in their lungs, and it was not a good situation for them, and I'd stay away from poison oak if I can, because I too get it if I just look at it. Other than it's a beautiful day here, I'm rolling down Elk Grove Boulevard, and it's going to be about 82 degrees later today. I don't know what the temperature is now. I apologize for not checking. But it feels really nice, and the wind is really light. Back to you, KD6U.
I haven't looked the temperature up either. I think if I peek right now up here in Auburn, we are at 65 degrees, sunny, and clear. Maybe there's a little bit of patchy clouds coming through. We'll get a little cloud cover later on. So the high is going to be 78 here. And I'm guessing you're going to stay maybe a little warmer than that. You might get some of those clouds, but not a bad day. A very nice spring day.
Yeah, it's, I don't see any clouds at all. In fact, there's a friend of mine from the Bay Area used to say as long since retired Pete Giddings, it's a severe clear. Visibility is great. It'd be great flying weather if I was a pilot.
Yes, that's right. It would be a fantastic day for that. And I'll bet, well, let's see, you're not too far from SAC Executive. I'm sure the planes are out there right now, buzzing around.
Roger, it's been many years since I've been in a single engine or twin engine plane. I used to have friends in the Bay Area that were pilots, so they used to pick me up. I've done regular flying, for work, commercial airlines, but I do miss not going up in those small planes. That was one of the things I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's really a blast to get up there and fly around. I fly with my brother. He's got a plane. He has a 337, which is a push-pull twin. And when I do get the chance to go up, it's kind of an expensive flight for him. It's a lot of fun. I definitely have a blast going here or there. And it's amazing how much distance you can cover in a short period of time just to go for lunch. We call it a $100 hamburger. Well, these days it's probably a $200 hamburger.
Right, I used to go up, like I said, a lot when I lived in the Bay Area because I knew a bunch of pilots. So that was a lot of fun. The only thing one of the other things I enjoyed is when I used to travel, when I was on a state commission back in the day, we got frequent flyer miles, and I would take Southwest. And I had so many that I could take them, like, I flew to Arizona for a friend of mine's pool party, came in the morning and left at night. I miss those days. I used to fly around all over the place on my frequent flyer miles. Anyway, that was then, this is now.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to jet set around, isn't it? It's a time machine by comparison to the way we used to travel. I mean, we're going to head to Hawaii, and on the day we travel, we'll leave Sacramento at 5 a.m. and we'll arrive at Hawaii around 9 a.m. Hawaii time, and it just feels like we're just time traveling anymore. It's fantastic. It's a great experience. Hopefully we won't have too much trouble with the airport itself, and it's not that much of a hassle. It's just too convenient these days to do that.
Hopefully the weather gets better. They've been getting a lot of flooding and a lot of hazardous conditions, especially around Oahu and other areas. So be careful. They've had to have a lot of rescues, even in areas where that's not common.
Well, we'll be in Kauai, and they do have the wet side of the island, and they do get some flooding over in Honolulu on, rare occasion, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's, heavy rains there. But on the other side of the island, the western side of the island, it's completely dry. It's almost desert-like. And I'll expect that the roads along there are going to be just fine. They're well made, and they avoid the flows for the rivers that come off of the mountaintops.
Well, I know that'll be a nice trip. I need to get out of the area for a while, but no time. My job's got a bunch of hard deadlines over the next few months, so I'm going to pretty much stay local. Well, with that, I don't want to take up a lot of the net time, but I did want to say hello. I missed yesterday because I actually got a friend of mine needed some help, so I had to run over to their house, and I forgot to grab the radio or the cell phone. So, take a little longer making up for it today. So I'll pass it back. You take care, and everyone, excuse it. Back to you, sir.
All right, Peter. Well, thank you for checking into the net this morning. Well, it sounds like you're having a great day, so keep enjoying this fine spring day and enjoy church. KD6QZH, KW6U73.
Okay, take care. KW6U, KD6QZH, and you have a good day.
All right, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. Let's see who's out there. I know there's a few folks that have been lurking around. We've been kind of busy. It's 9:24. Let's go ahead and take some check-ins here, and let me know if you are in and out.
Kilo Golf 6.
N9MUF mobile, in and out.
All right, Daniel, I've got you N9MUF, and then the Kilo Golf 6 station. Would you come again, please?
Kilo Golf 6, Quebec, Bravo, Bravo.
All right, KG6QBB. Was there anyone else that needed to check in? All right, very good. KG6QBB, you're up first. Good morning. Welcome. And you know what? You didn't show up right away on the log. Have you checked in with us before?
I have indeed.
Well, I'll just go ahead and reset my thing here. Well, what's going on with you these days? And happy Sunday.
Not much going on. Going through the morning routine here.
Well, you're pretty local, so you're probably enjoying the fine weather that we're having right now, about as good as you get. Hopefully you don't have poison oak to weed eat.
Nope, but I got about a 9-foot burn pile intending.
Is today a burn day? I mean, it's, I guess it might be. If the weather stays cool like it is and a little bit cloudy, maybe we'll get a little sprinkle or something.
Yes, it is.
Well, have fun doing that today. That'll keep you busy. It's got to be managed nice and close. Hopefully get that done before too many of the weeds dry up, and you won't be able to do that soon. So it sounds like they're allowing it. It's moist enough. Sound like you got your work out for you.
Yeah, but I got about a 9-foot tall slash pile that we're breaking into about 4-foot sections and burning off. So it's it's one thing after the other here.
Such as it is when you have property. Well, have fun doing that. Once you get it done, you'll be happy it's over, and you won't have to deal with it for another year.
No, when you have property, it's an ongoing thing. It doesn't matter whether you do it once. You got to do it about 15 times a year.
This is where the heavy equipment comes in, and a masticator or something like that can just break things down into sawdust for you. Yep, I know how it is. I used to live on property, and of course it kept me busy all the time. And well, have fun doing that there, Alex, and hopefully you'll get that done nice and quick and no problems.
Yeah, thank you much. KG6QBB clear.
All right, Alex. 7-3 to you. KG6QBB KW6U. We'll talk to you next time. Morning, Daniel. N9MUF. Happy Sunday to you, and hopefully the weather's kind of nice for you. It's beautiful here.
Jeff, you have absolutely perfect timing. I had a phone call come in, and the phone call finished just as you called my name in the net. Unfortunately, we don't share the good weather. We've got cloudy skies, gray cloudy, and it's a 44 degrees, so we've come down the last 2 days.
At different places, because you can look on the web reports or whatnot.
I actually walked around in winter in bare feet to win a bet with some of my college roommates.
I remember doing a few crazy things similar to that, but barefoot in the snow, yeah, that would have been a quick walk.
No, I get that, but yeah, church was great. Great morning at church, even though it's the morning I've got to get up the earliest to get there, and had got to give a good announcement and talk on radiograms, and there was a lot of interest afterwards. People, nobody actually sent one, but a couple people took the forms and are definitely showing interest, and it's just trying to convince people, yes, we can do it in disasters, but we're asking for routine traffic because we've got to keep the nets alive.
That's pretty cool. So letting the community know that radiograms are still a thing and a possibility, and it's kind of fun. Make it kind of fun and interesting for them to go ahead and send one.
Exactly. I walked several people through the process and, you know, how it gets injected into the system and gets passed through a bunch of people, and in a couple of days, the person on the other end might get a phone call that says this message is being delivered to you by amateur radio. I sent one to my mother-in-law several years ago, and even though I called her every day, she appreciated the specialness of the radiogram and talked about it frequently until she passed.
How fun is that? Yeah, I may have to do something similar. You know, I'll be out and about hiking coming up here in May. I start the Pacific Crest Trail, and so I'll be far away from home for quite a while. So it might be fun to send a radiogram.
I figure anything that we can do to make the hobby more present, and I've started taking the radiograms forms with me on the POTA, because it also makes it more real. Not just I saw this guy doing it, but if, you know, some of the kids that I've taught to send a message to their grandparents, they get a reminder a few days later of how cool it is.
That is pretty neat, actually, to have that out there on a POTA. Well, when you're at a POTA, you're already sort of a target for somebody to visit and ask what you're doing, so you might as well just involve them a little bit further by sending a radiogram. What a great idea to have some of those forms ready to go.
Yep, my wife did them out and bound them for me so they all look nice and neat and professional. So for the cost of a little bit of crafty work, to get a pad from the ARRL would have cost $12. $3 for the pad, $8 for shipping, and $1 for tax. And I was just like, no, we're going to do this ourselves.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you could print them out, but yeah, but it's much easier to do it yourself, or cheaper, I should say, to do it yourself. But it makes it fun. I'm glad you're doing that. I don't think about them too often. I've of course heard about them, and I've sent one before, but I need to put that back in my my POTA kit.
Yeah, I've just got a pad of 50 radiograms that we printed out. We grabbed the PDF form and printed it out 25 times, cut them in half, and bound them up, and it looks all nice and professional.
That's very cool. When I was in, I was doing a POTA in not Joshua Tree. I'm trying to think. Jedediah Smith, Redwood National Park, and I was trying to. You know, I'm still learning CW at that point, and I'm still learning it. You know, you have to really focus. But I think I had at least 12, 15 people come up to me and just ask me what was going on, what I was doing when I set up my radio and had the antenna going up, and makes me wish I'd had some radiograms available. Would have been interesting for them to send something.
Well, it keeps the hobby present in their minds, but it also shows them the practical application. You know, trying to get us out from that image of where, okay, so we all are antisocial people who are still living in our parents' basement. But, you know, we try to not give that away publicly.
Yeah, I think people just need to know the capability, and it piques their interest, and that's the fun part. I think people they're maybe they're less inclined to give out their phone numbers the same way, and that's totally fine. It's a personal choice.
It is, but you can still deliver it via email, or if you've got the full address, they can send them a postcard on the final leg.
True. Either way, there's lots of ways to make that happen rather than just having a phone call. Although, there's it might make a difference generationally, and email is just as good in many cases.
I do think there's something special about getting a phone call saying, "Hi, I've got a message for you delivered by amateur radio." Like I said, my mother-in-law talked about it, and the other people that I sent radiograms to demonstrate have really commented on how cool that was. And the traffic handling is something I always wanted to be a part of, and now I'm handling it for Will County, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah, you do it formally and informally, which is a lot of fun. I think I don't know who does that here locally formally. I should know better than that, and that's probably an exercise for local areas to do something of that nature. But that said, it makes it kind of fun for me to go ahead and pack that into my POTA kit and be of service to somebody just to make it interesting for them.
I figure for the cost of a good pen and a few sheets of paper, that little bit of extra weight in the POTA bag is worth it.
Yeah, and most of the time with a POTA, you're driving a car or riding a motorcycle. There's a little extra room for that. You won't need 50 of them. You can just have 10 or 15 of them most likely, and you'll cover the bases.
Exactly that, and I've been playing around on Android with the WOAD app, and it's quite a handy little tool. So since I have a tablet with me for logging, I could just switch over and say, "Hey, I can help you construct your radiogram right here on this tablet."
What app was that you're mentioning?
It's either WOAD or W6EK. I'm not sure which, but if you just, it's an Android app, so if you just type in WinLink in the search, works very nicely, and it's the exact same radiogram form that you would get if you were using WinLink.
Got it. So a familiar format, at least. So I'll take a look at that. I don't have an Android, but I'll bet a lot of people would like to hear about that, so mentioning it is fine.
I do have an iPhone, but I've got to admit I've made a point of keeping ham radio apps off of it because, to me, that the iPhone is what I call my bouncy phone. I have very little on it, and if it winds up taking a dive off the motorcycle, I'm not going to have a heart attack.
It's my tool. My iPhone is my tool. My life lives on it, and somebody would have to access it. But I have almost everything on there. I only have a few ham radio apps, though, because the world of ham radio apps is not quite as large on an iPhone as it is on Android. More wild and more interesting projects going on, I think, with Android.
I think the iPhone app is called Radio Mail, if I recall correctly. I'd have to check my notes because me being me, I did research it out.
I don't know if you can hear me, Daniel, but looks like somebody's keying up on the mic here for a second. Stand by. Very interesting. Are you able to hear me okay? I mean, I'm able to talk through it, apparently.
I can hear you just fine, Jeff. N9MUF here. No, I don't know if you heard me when I said that I think Radio Mail is the name of the iOS app.
Yeah, I did hear that. I think I got you on that. No problem there. So Radio Mail, I've heard of that app actually. I think I had forgotten to add it to my. Write that down right now while I'm thinking about it, and make sure that I take a better look at that.
Yeah, like I said, I was tempted to install it on my iPhone, but I'm just going, that's a line that I promised myself that I wouldn't cross, because when I get on the motorcycle, unless I've got a photo bag with me, I just kind of want to get away from everything, and that even includes radio.
Yeah, I think I understand completely. It's just one of those. You have your phone that you use for one job, and then another phone for another. And I'm about ready to tiptoe into the Android world just to have a better option for that.
Yeah, I do. I get. I mean, it's that problem that I think Linux and Mac and iOS users face. It seems like everything good that's out there is either Windows or Android when it comes to amateur radio.
Well, I certainly have been an iPhone fan for, I don't know, I think my first iPhone was an iPhone 3, and it's been a fantastic tool for me, and I enjoyed the Mac. I still have an old G5 Mac that when I turn it on, it still works. Bought that in 2004, and every time I fire it up, that thing still operates the way it did when I had it. It's remarkable. And so, long-lasting tools for sure. But I haven't tiptoed into the Android world, and I'm about ready to do that. There are some just different ways of functioning that I should learn.
This is my third iPhone. The first one that I had, they gave it to me for a job. I logged into it, forwarded the phone number to my personal cell phone, put it in the desk, and left it there until I quit. The second one was against this phone, and I did carry that and the other one around. And then, like I said, when it came time for something to mount to the handlebars, I decided on the iPhone. It was a little smaller, a little easier to use, and I knew that I wouldn't be tempted to put all the apps on there that I've got on my Android, because I'm like you with my Android phone. It's got my life on it now.
Yeah, you want to keep that tool well protected. I use mine on the motorcycle. I have a mag lock, and it's never come off, fortunately for me. But one of these days, I'm sure it will, because eventually those things wear out a little bit. But it works as a pretty decent device sitting on the center handlebar point. It's a little navigation, easy to work with, and hear the turn-by-turn in my ear.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the TAC-form handlebar mounts, and those have worked really well. And the one I like because it just screws on very tightly, so if I want to transfer it between bikes, I can do that with just a few minutes of loosening it and tightening back up, and it definitely holds that phone in place.
Well, when you find something that works, stick to it. There's no point in changing until it fails you. So, yeah, good way to do that. One of the best ways. I don't like using the app, of course, I don't look at it while I'm riding so much, as I just like setting up my turn-by-turn and hearing it go off. I could care less if somebody calls me. I just ignore it.
No, I absolutely understand. I did that anytime I was on a long-distance trip. Just fire that up, throw it in my tank bag, and I'd be good to go.
Yeah, the tank bag's a good place for things as well. Keeps it less distracting. But in any case, Daniel, I'm going to go ahead and, wow, we're already at 9:44, so I'm going to have to start slowly wrapping things up and let a few more people get in here before I head off to church.
Well, I'm I'm glad that my phone call came in when it did. It was good timing, and let me be a rag too rather than a quick in and out. Always a pleasure, Jeff. 7-3 to you in the net, and 9MUF.
Yeah, always a pleasure for me as well, Daniel. Thanks for chit-chatting with me a bit, and have a great Sunday. This is, you're N9MUF, KW6U 73. All right, good morning, all. This is the Coffee Break Net, KW6U here. I'm going to go ahead and take a round of in and outs and log only. So in and outs and log only. Who would like to check in and chat for a moment, but also get some folks who want to get in the log.
N2 DYI, in and out.
N9RES, log only.
K6 GBZ, log only.
K6 GL, log only.
6 VYD, Kilo November 6, Victor Yankee Delta, log only.
Whiskey 6, Golf Lima Whiskey, log only.
All right, let me go through what I have to make sure I've got everybody correct here. I know I've got a double or two in there. Whiskey 6 Golf Lima Whiskey, I've got you in the log. KN6 VYD, got you in the log. K6 GBZ Tom, got you in the log. N9RES, I've got you in the log. Patrick into DYI, I have you as an in and out. Who did I miss?
K6PKL, and by the way, you'll be switching over to the Canadian net when I'm on here shortly. K6PKL in the log.
All right, K6PKL, got you in the log there. All right, let me go up to Patrick. Good morning, Patrick. Got you as an in and out. How's your day going?
Good afternoon. It is not really going. I just woke up probably 20 minutes ago. I'm still trying to figure out what life is actually. What is the real meaning of life? How does it work? What does it do?
Well, we're born, we exist, and then we die. Is there anything else in between?
Yeah, I think you've pretty much covered all the bases.
The very quick and lack of existential crisis involvement as part of that.
Well, there might be a few of those, and maybe some good points and bad points in a coffee break net here or there, but other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anyway, yeah, 84 degrees here right now, and it may get a little bit higher before the day's done.
84 in North Carolina, already getting warm. Is there humidity that comes with that?
Well, naturally, of course, there's humidity that comes with that. Don't know what it is right now, but it is certainly. We have rain coming in, probably just a little bit next week. Nothing major. I think there's supposed to be some stormage going on in the Northeast. Back home, I think it looks like it's going to be in the lower 60s with a chance of thunderstorms. Same kind of thing a little further down the coast, sort of Philadelphia, New Jersey. So we got the heat and not the rest of it.
Yeah, it seems like that's pretty warm for this time of the year, I guess. You know, here we are in March, and you're already up into the 80s. It can happen like that from time to time, but 80s with humidity, that's the miserable part.
Yeah, it's not completely unheard of to have heat like this early in the year, but it definitely doesn't happen often. And it certainly is not what I would expect. I would expect weather like this in late April, early to mid-May. Anyway, don't have too much to add. I'm going to try to get things started. I have a couple of things that need to be done before 3 o'clock, so I'm going to get out of here and get those done. 7-3. Everyone have a great weekend. What's left of it. Into DYI.
All right, Patrick. Well, yeah, with your sleep patterns, it's I don't know what your day is going to be like. Well, hopefully you'll get some things done. Have a great day. Thanks for checking into the net, and get some sleep later on. And to DYI, KW6U73. All right, everybody, this is the Coffee Break Net. Go ahead and wind things down a little bit. We'll get some more in and outs and log onlys, for the Coffee Break Net. Wow, it's a pretty quiet morning, and I hope that means that everyone's having just a wonderful day. I want to make sure that we do get folks in who wants to get in the log. At least then, let's go ahead and take some log onlys.
Whiskey 1 Zulu India Bravo.
All right, I've got Whiskey 1 Zulu India Bravo for the log. Anyone else would like to get?
AI6LZ.
AI6LZ, Bert, good morning. Got you in the log. Anyone else for the log?
KM6LYW, Craig and Cool for the log.
All right, Craig, I got you, KM6LYW. Was there someone else that was trying to get in here as well?
Oh, there was, but I had a disconnect between the foot and the push-to-talk and WB1G. I've been trying to check in, and I'm like, why isn't he coming back to me? Oh, yeah, because I'm a dead carrier.
Yeah, that's all I got. Right over doubling someone else. All right, Smitty, I've got you the log. Thanks for checking in. Anyone else for the log?
W6STW, Maurice down in Wilton.
All right, Whiskey 6, Sierra Tango Whiskey, got you in the log. Anyone else?
November 5, Tango India, November.
Okay, I've got KD6HON Joe, is that correct? We got doubled and... All right, I've got you there, Joe. And then November 5 station, come again, please. All right, I think I see you on Supermon there. November 5, Tango, India, November. I got you, Steve, in the log. Anyone else for the log?
Good morning. This is Alpha Kilo 6 Papa Echo for the log.
Alpha Kilo 6 Papa Echo. Joe, got you in the log. Anyone else for the log? All right. Well, hearing none, this is we're going to go ahead and shut the repeater down, not the repeater, but the Coffee Break Net down just for a moment. Or here we are at the end of the net. This is KW6U. I really appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. As a reminder, the Coffee Break Net is every morning from 7:30 to around 10 a.m. And hopefully you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll catch you next time. Coffee Break Net every morning, 7:30, so we'll see you then. This is KW6U returning the repeater over to normal operation. 7-3.